some trends I'll never understand. They might be for you, but like, even if they are for me, they take me a hot second. Biker shorts was one of them. Low-rise jeans I don't think I'll ever get behind. But cowboy romances, something I want to try. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aylin, and today we are going to be pitting against each other two of, I would say, the most popular cowboy romances. Seeing what the hype is about, seeing if I am a cowboy romance girly, and then which one's better. As you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we are going to be trying Done and Dusted by Lila Sage and Flawless by Elsie Silver, which I believe is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series. There are a few things that I'm going to be grading, if you will. First of all, do I like cowboy romances? That'll be something that each of these will be a testament to. If I like one but not the other, maybe I just like that author's writing style. I might have to, delve in a little bit deeper and see, but I feel like they'll both show me if I like that element in a romance. I'm giving two different authors a try, so like maybe if one author isn't for me but I'm loving the cowboy thing, then the other author might give me the thing that I'm missing. As far as cowboy romances go, which one is a little bit easier to get into? Which one, if you want to like this trope, is the one that you should start with and then maybe go into the other one? 3, which one does it better? Which is different, because one, it might be a little bit more accessible, but the other one is like better because it has more, but it's like not the easiest thing to start with. However, one book could have both. It does it better and it's easier to get into. I think those are the 3 main things that I really want to see, and hopefully by the end of this video we have an answer. I would love to be an Elsie Silver girl and read through the whole Chestnut Springs series as well as the Gold Rush series. I'm starting this video reading Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I have the audiobook checked out from Libby. So far, really enjoying it. I've only listened to like 2 minutes, so I'm not super far in. But what I do know is we are following Clementine Ryder. From the initial 2 minutes of reading, it is definitely giving like summertime vibes, like summer in the South, ranch, even though they're going into a bar. But I really like the writing style so far. Our main character, Emmy, has just broken up with her boyfriend, driven 300 miles to her best friend's house in her small town, and I already love the female friendship so much. Like, it's so sweet, so unique, it's beautiful, and it reminds me a lot of my best friend and I, like how close we are, how well we understand each other, the things that we don't say but it's like so clearly said. The author's note, it says that Emmy has ADHD, so I'm very curious to see like how that plays out, representation there, because it's not something that I know a ton about, but it is something that I'm very curious about. Very excited to be starting this. I'm gonna try to do like third of the way through updates since I'm only reading 2 books for this, and we'll see how it goes. So far, writing style, characters, atmosphere, all really enjoying. We haven't gotten to the romance because we're only 2 minutes in. I'm gonna be grading it like I normally would a romance. Why are the characters together? Do I like them together? Does that make sense? Do I believe it? All of that type of stuff, but adding in the cowboy element to see if I like that. I'm excited to do this video. I'm nervous because I don't, like, if you had told me that I would love a cowboy romance, I would not believe you. But is that going to be the case? We'll see. I am 52% of the way through Done and Dusted. I was going to give you a third of the way through update, had every intention, but I kept reading it today. Give me some credit, it's complicated. Not really. I read it on my commute to work and like during my lunch break if I have time and everything like that, and so I didn't have time to do the update or like a place to do the update. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm 52% of the way through. I can give you my third of the way through thoughts. I thought it was cute. I thought that they were like really building. I was loving the small town feel. I love the family element of it. I do like the horse vibe. It's not like super cowboy heavy, like don't get me wrong, they live on a ranch, so like the cowboy element is there. It's hard because we're getting tons of it, but we're also not, it's not so overbearing. I am loving this one. I think so far, obviously I still need to read Flawless, but so far as like a starter for cowboy romances, this is a good one. Things are getting spicier, the tension is building, it is palpable. I love the banter, I love our characters together, like it just makes sense. I'm really enjoying this. This is a solid 4-star read for me. It doesn't have like that extra emotional layer to like make it a 5-star for me, but it is a really, really solid 4-star. I'll probably pick up a copy of this. I'm definitely gonna pick up a copy of this. It's just a matter of when. I am loving the cowboy element. Our main character does like barrel racing on horses, and she had an accident a really long time ago that is kind of like holding her up from getting on a horse again because she had a really bad injury. Our main character, who is the brother's best friend, might I add, and I love it, his name is Luke Brooks. He is like reteaching her how to ride because at her dad's ranch, he also gives like little kids lessons. Loving it. He's like not too much of a cinnamon roll, but definitely very sweet. Their banter is incredible, and I'm so excited for all of the other books. Also, today, Swift and Saddled came out. So far, I might be a cowboy romance girly. It's been a minute since we've chatted. I have finished Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I loved this one. I thought it was so cute. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It's really strong 4-star for me. I haven't been reading a ton of romance, unless you count Magnolia Parks, which is, I'm just a little bit more emotionally invested. What can I say? But with that being said, I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. I think as far as like the things that I am assessing for this video, for diving into a cowboy romance, start with this one. I think that this one is really, really great. As far as like a romance goes, it's a 4-star from me. I really enjoyed this one because it's not super heavy on the cowboy. So like if you're not sure how you feel about that trope and you just want to dip your toe in, I think this is an excellent place to start. There's not too much like lingo or anything in it. I'm definitely going to be continuing on with the second book once I get a copy of the audiobook from the library, so cannot wait to read that one. The thing that I really appreciated about this is that, like, yes, he is a cowboy. He's teaching younger girls, not younger girls, that sounds creepy, younger kids how to like ride a horse for the first time. But it was more so like her riding journey and just like life on the ranch, small town vibes. Loved it. So freaking good. And it's like a best friends to lovers type of thing. I might like cowboy romances. In saying that, I have also started Flawless. I am 27 pages into this. I think it's 7% on my Kindle. I'm not entirely sure. I'm really enjoying this one so far. Basically, we have maybe like a bull rider, I think. Maybe. He's like a famous bull rider and he gets in trouble with his agent for saying that he hates milk when he has a really big Dairy Queen sponsorship. He ends up losing that sponsorship. Enter in Summer. His name is Rhett Eaton. Enter in Summer, who is the daughter and a new lawyer at the agency that he like has hired for all of his PR stuff. She is the daughter of his agent. Basically, they have decided that Rhett needs, in order to do damage control, Rhett needs a babysitter for the summer. And so they are going to his family's farm, Chestnut Springs in Calgary, Alberta, I believe, which is in Canada, which is kind of crazy. It wasn't where I was envisioning this series taking place when I had heard about it. It's a hate to love is what is like listed on the title for Kindle. I can already feel the tension coming off the pages. I'm so excited. She is not impressed with him at all. And if you know me, you know I love a female lawyer as the protagonist in a romance. It's one of the niche things that I love, but I love it so much. So I'm really excited to dive in. First impressions, I think that if I had to grade it right now, I would say start with Done and Dusted and then move on to Chestnut Springs. A, because the Rebel Blue Ranch series is only a trilogy. This is like 5 books, I believe. I don't know if there are more coming out. This seems like it's going a little bit heavier on the cowboy element than the other one was. These are a little bit longer. Like, I just think as an introduction so far, Done and Dusted seems to be the way to go. I've also heard that there's just like a little bit more substance in these, so if you're looking for like a fluffy thing, Done and Dusted. These, I think it might like eat your heart out, but I'm not fully sure where we're going with it yet. I'm excited. He is like trying to do damage control and maybe earn his sponsorships back. Probably not. In it says there's one thing he's not. It's like the good boy at home, your friendly neighborhood cowboy. That's not him. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys. I'm hoping to wrap this up rather quickly. So far, the writing style I'm enjoying, but again, I'm only 27 pages in. I'll check in probably around 30%. I have a hair appointment tomorrow, so I'm planning on reading during that. It's another car update. I'm sorry, I'm a busy girl, but I'm committed. I wanted to give you a very accurate update because I was bad about it while reading the last book. I am 34% of the way through. Forgive me for that extra percent, but like it had to go in somewhere. Really enjoying this one. I'm really loving the dynamic between Rhett and Summer. I love like their banter. I can definitely see how this is one of people's favorite series. Elsie Silver, what the hell? Why can't I say her name? Elsie Silver has such an amazing like writing style. It's so addicting. So I am really appreciating it for that. Right now we are kind of breaking down some of those barriers between the two of them, more so with Rhett than with Summer. They have more of an understanding of one another. Rhett hasn't fully like explained to her why writing is so important to him. They're finally coming to more of an understanding with one another, so there's not so much like animosity between the two of them. He's definitely still a little bit guarded and standoffish. Summer is like trying her best because he is so stubborn to like break down those barriers. But the thing that I really appreciate there too with Summer's dad, she's kind of like standing up in defense of Rhett, which I really appreciate, because she's like, he's fine, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, she is fully on his side, and I love that in that way they already have like this partnership like mindset. I think that that's so important in relationships, and so to see it demonstrated in this one is just convincing me all that much more of this romance, even though they haven't even kissed yet. Like, we're 150-ish pages in and they have yet to kiss. So like, this payoff is going to be incredible. I also love that they're like fighting off their attraction for one another, which is a key element in romance books, but Elsie Silver is doing it really well. The other thing that I'm really enjoying about this so far is that before each chapter, now that we've kind of understood the characters and everything and gotten introduced to a good amount of them, there are like little text messages as like the preface for the chapter, and I love those as well, because there's sometimes like funny moments between Kip and Summer, Kip being Summer's father, or like Rhett and one of his brothers, or Rhett and Summer, or Kip and Rhett. Like, I love it. I love that it is further establishing all of the character relationships, and while it's like fun to have that mixed media format in there, it's also adding something to it. It's not just in there to like switch it up. Really enjoying this. The goal is to finish it this weekend. That's it for this update. I'm going to continue to read more of this today. Very excited. I will keep y'all posted, hopefully at the next third if I have a decent update. If not, we will just talk at the end. My hair is currently making me look even paler, if that's possible. If it looks like I haven't slept in a couple days, it's because I haven't. I have a flawless update for you. Haven't picked it up in a couple of days because I've been meaning to do this update, but I am 70% of the way through now, I believe. So we have 30% left, just under a third, so I'm hoping to finish it up like today. Currently loving it. We finally got in a couple of like spicy intimate scenes, which have been so fun. And I still love like the characters' banter and connection. Like, it just feels really real in all of the spicy scenes. Like, I feel like they're adding something. It feels like it's building more of that connection. Of the two, if I had to like finally grade them right this second, and I don't think that my reviews are going to change that much between now and the end of the book and when I'm wrapping this video up, I would have to say that I think of the two, this one is going to be the better one. It just has a little bit more substance to it. It also has a little bit more of like the cowboy vibe. It's obviously like the predecessor to Done and Dusted, and I can see a lot of elements that were in Done and Dusted that are in Flawless, so I think that it was like a parent book as far as like inspiration goes for Done and Dusted, which I can appreciate. Like, if you need a Chestnut Springs fix, Done and Dusted, great. Like, Rebel Blue Ranch series, I think all the way will work for you. As far as like easing in, seeing if you kind of like the cowboy thing, like dipping your toe in, I think it'll be Done and Dusted, but we'll get into the nitty-gritty of that later after my final update. Just want to give you guys the lowdown. I don't know what like the third act conflict is going to be, if it's maybe like the one thing that I can think of. Not super stoked. Also, I need to show you guys something. I may or may not have bit the bullet and purchased some of these books, and they're here, so I figured I would show you. Heartless, which is stunning, Powerless, and Hopeless. I love them. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to read this one physically and annotated, because this is next up in the series, and then this one, and then I need Flawless and Reckless still. That's where we're at. I will give you my final check-in in the next clip. I just accepted that like there's no B-roll in this video. Maybe there's a little bit if I can find a couple clips to scrounge together, but other than that, it's pretty much just me talking. But let me know in the future, because I do plan on doing another one of these videos next month. So let me know if in the future you want more B-roll, or if you would rather me like just do straight through talking vlog updates and stuff, because it is a little bit different since I'm like pitting them against each other. It's not like a reading vlog or anything. I mean, it's a reading vlog, but not like a weekly reading vlog with like lifestyle and stuff. I'm gonna go. I'm just rambling at this point. It's time to close out this video. I've been filming this for almost a month, which is embarrassing because it was only 2 books. I have finally finished Flawless as well as Done and Dusted. We've been done with that for quite a while. Time for my final thoughts. Yeehaw! Going into this, I believe I said there were like 3 things that I was going to be keeping in mind. Do I like cowboy romances? Which one does it better? And which book would be a better like starting point for cowboy romances? I've also like gathered some other information that I wasn't anticipating along the way, so we're going to talk about that as well. But to answer the first question, yes, I do like them. I showed you guys that I got 3 of the 5 physical books for the Chestnut Springs series so that I could read them and annotate them, and I'm so excited to read them. It's taking everything in me to not pick up Heartless right now. I really enjoyed them. I think something that just goes with cowboy romances that I didn't necessarily know, and maybe it's because I read 2 that I guess are very similar, like the comparisons are there. People who've read both of them say that like it's very strong, really strong sense of like healthy family is in it. Small town, which we love. He's usually a gentleman since like he grew up on a ranch type of thing, and then it like diversifies a little bit from there. The tropes kind of differ and sway off. As to which one is like better to start with, I think that if you're not sure how you feel about cowboy romances and you don't think you're going to like them, I would say try Done and Dusted. I think the cowboy elements are a little bit less in there, and the male love interest does ride horses, but it's not like a super strong element. Our main character, Emmy, recently had an accident with a horse and she's very nervous to get back on. So like horseback riding and the cowboy moments are definitely in those books, but like I said, it's not like a super strong element. They're also going to like this towny little dive bar that the main character owns, like doing a bunch of other things, which again I really liked. I'm just saying, as far as going to horseback riding events and things like that, it wasn't super heavy in those elements, but all of the other elements that I think help make a cowboy romance were definitely in there, and I think it would be easy for you to dip your toe into. If you're looking for show me a full-on cowboy romance, all of it, give it to me heavily, I would say start with Flawless. So it's kind of like it depends on what you're looking for situation. Done and Dusted is significantly shorter. I would say there's less detail. You're not as attached to the characters. It's a very good like palette cleanser. It's also definitely got the cowboy romance in there, but I would say it's like a 2.5 out of 5 as far as like how heavily it's involved. As for Flawless, I would say it's about a 4 out of 5 with the cowboy romance thing. They're riding horses, he rides bulls, you see each event really that they're going to and all of the thought processes. You're really in those moments. There's more detail. I think overall that one is a better book. In my opinion, it is a little bit longer. You get a little bit more detail. You're more connected to the characters. As a romance, I think that Flawless was the better one, but I still really enjoyed Done and Dusted. I think you just have to set your expectations accordingly for what they're both providing. And then I believe the last point I kind of already mentioned, which one does it better? I would say Flawless. This does not mean that either of them are bad literally at all. Like I have expressed, I think that they're both really excellent. I think that Flawless, I think that the length really lends itself to that. All of the detail, the connections, it's an overall better romance in my opinion. You just have more time with the characters and to better understand them. I liked Elsie Silver's writing a lot. I'm definitely going to go back and read her backlist, which I'm really excited for. Final question, do I like cowboy romances? Yes, a million times over. We'll be continuing with both of these series. Really excited to see where they go. I think I'm going to call this like video series Try a Trope. So this one was the cowboy romance edition, because I feel like cowboy romance isn't necessarily a trope, but like a trope is kind of like a very specific thing included in a book, which is what like the cowboy romance setting would be. So I feel like it makes sense. I have one planned for next month, which I'm really excited to do. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, let me know if you guys liked this video, if it helped you at all, what your thoughts on either of these books were, if you've read them already. I'm sure that a lot of people have because they're very popular books. But yeah, I really love doing this. Thank you guys for letting me. I love you all so much. I really appreciate you all for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well reading, mentally and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video very, very soon. Bye guys.